Hey, and welcome back to the Lighting Controls Podcast here live at LightFair 2025 down in Las Vegas. If you're not here, well, sorry. But we have Mark Roush here from the Innovation Awards, also Michael Colligan from Get a Grip on Lighting podcast.
Thank you.
Guest speaker. Mark, tell us a little bit about the Innovation Awards.
Well, the Innovation Awards is a free service to exhibitors. So any exhibitor can submit to the awards, and the awards is a body of products, and what we do is we judge them for innovation. Now, you got a small booth, you get one, but if you got the biggest booth, you get up to 8 entries.
Oh, wow.
So there are rules about all of that, you know. But my job as facilitator is to edit those submissions, make sure they're in the proper category so that the judges are seeing products that compete with each other, that sort of thing. And then what we do is we select the best of category. This year we had 11 categories. Of those 11 category winners, we select the biggest awards, which ends with the most innovative product of 2025. So it's a program that I have actually facilitated. This year is my 25th year.
Oh, wow.
Of doing it.
Congratulations.
Get out of
That's
here.
a huge investment.
25 years. Get out of here.
It's a great
That's
deal
crazy.
of work, but I got into it. I actually won the first judged product
Really?
showcase. These called the product showcase.
What was it?
I won the first year for the Philips Master Color Metal Halide lamp. Most people know me.
Ceramic metal
with
halides.
Philips. Yeah,
We talking late 90s?
yeah. 1995.
Wow.
At LightFair in San Francisco.
Wow.
So 5 years later, I got to know the LightFair people very well because I designed the booth for like 7 years.
Sure.
And they asked me to do the Innovation Awards because I got personality and they needed some flair.
You got,
and,
yeah, I like your shirt.
and I just,
I like your shirt.
I just went with it, you know, and have done it ever since. But I am hell-bent on making sure that every exhibitor that submits gets an equal chance.
That's great.
So
Amen.
if there's submission, some of the submissions are written in English as a third language, you know,
Sure.
and you got to find the details.
But so BIOS won that award this year, did they not?
No, not the. They got an award. They got an award for
Okay.
the category, best of category.
Okay.
But the most innovative product of the year this year is something none of us had ever seen. It's a concrete housing in a rollover linear fixture that can be curved.
They were just on the show about an hour ago.
It's organic lighting with their product called FortiCast.
Yes.
So they got the most innovative product of the year.
Wow.
Now this award is a fantastic marketing opportunity, and the just the shape of the Frable, the trophy itself, has great meaning in the industry now. And so it's a time to money thing. In the product the product life cycle.
Yes.
You know, you come out with a product, it takes forever before it makes money. Then
Sure.
it peaks, and then it loses money over life, right? Well, you get time to money. When you get an award like this, you peak right up because you got enough interest that people would get your product right away. So it's a marketing opportunity.
But what I want to ask you about more
Yeah.
than anything else, and sorry to take over.
Oh, go for it.
Took over
You're
Lighting
guest
Control-
co-host.
Lighting Controls podcast. I know that you're the host.
Go
but
for
I
it.
have to say, I've been to a lot of light fairs. We're going back. My first light fair is 2006. Okay, and I got in the industry in 1999. So I'm going back. So we're a lot younger than you and me, right? We're going back, 2 decades. Why is light fair important? Like, never mind who makes money, who doesn't make money. Why do we need a show over here in America with everybody with awards and innovation awards and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so the awards part brings attention to the products themselves. And as far as I am concerned, also representing a manufacturer most of my career, it's the product introduction moment. But what you can't get in a local show, you don't have enough room to show your product and application. So the real opportunity here is to show people what you got, let them see how it performs and works. You got enough space, it's not super crowded, and it's a branding opportunity. So not only is it product introduction, but you have an opportunity to present yourself in a branded way. I took that very serious when I designed booths.
Light fair is more American and education is kind of European. European equalizes
That's
that.
that's
They
not
equalize
true. That's not at all true.
I think it's true.
I was going to ask you to qualify that.
I don't
what
know.
makes you say that?
Well, education.
I just feel like I feel like the level of, like, not that there's one better than the other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that light fair is the stamp that America puts on lighting for showcasing things. And if you're not at LightFair, then you haven't showcased your product.
Well, yeah, and you haven't presented your company well, and that's where branding comes in.
Yes. But I think Leducation is kind of like a smaller, faster way to get things out there and get connected. It's more intense.
Well,
it's more close.
I'll give
Everybody's the same. But at LightFair, you can put a big booth at LightFair.
Well,
a big booth at
I'll give you the
LightFair
perspective on this, though. There's a serious historical perspective. Leducation came out when LEDs came out, and they really started to take off in 2008 when there were 20 tables there, and they were very small, and there's a little thing in a room. Right now, Leducation is exactly as big as Lighting World used to be before it became these three partners that created LightFair. It was in the same hotel at the Hilton. It was as packed as it is now.
There you go.
So
that's why you need perspective, right?
So either Leducation has got to find a bigger venue, you know, because it's exceeded its space.
That's been the consistent comment that I've heard.
Well, because of that, it's crowded and it's difficult to interact. And LightFair has always had more room, but also space for your products. So this organic lighting that got the best product of the year this year, he wasn't going to show. He called me, because we talked a couple of years ago, and he called me out of the blue, and I said, "Are you going to LightFair?" He goes, "No, I hadn't thought about it." I said, "This product needs to be seen in full scale."
Sure.
Yeah.
He signed up 3 days later, and
That's
here he's
great.
got the most innovative product of the year.
All right, so what if, let's say there's manufacturers listening to this.
Yes.
How do they get involved? How do they submit their product?
Just signing up, they get a package, and the package has in it the Innovation Awards. It's a free service. You just got to decide what product you want to put in, and you got to follow the format to submit it.
So you got to be at LightFair. You got to submit.
You have to be an
to the
exhibitor,
Innovation Award.
and you officially are supposed to have that product in your booth if you're going to submit
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's great. So,
Yeah.
well, Mark, really appreciate you coming on the show, and Michael, appreciate the co-hosting.
So you said something about controls.
Yeah.
You know, controls right now is the biggest growing segment in our whole industry.
Oh,
What the LEDs were 15 years ago, controls are now. And so the excitement as well is understanding the complexity of controls is beyond many of us that are architects, you know, and making things work together and what's available now and what the codes are requiring that wasn't required before. This is all a big deal. I used to do a talk called the Lighting Revolution, and it was always LEDs. My Lighting Revolution talk now is all controls.
So with the innovations, are you seeing more lighting controls coming in through the innovation?
Oh yeah, we have two categories, and they're big categories always. We do it in two ways: components, which is like a new 8-button switch,
Sure.
but systems. And DALI, for instance, that got best of category, is a communications
system,
protocol.
yeah.
But now it's wireless instead of wired, and that's a big gift
Right.
to the industry.
No, definitely.
Yeah. And so the people come to the show, they see the awards. It's a shortcut for them to know what to go see and make sure they don't miss. And before they just sort of walk back and forth.
Right.
So it's always been. I've been to LightFair since 1979. There's been something like 46. I've only missed 3.
Wow.
But I was always in the audience for the Innovation Awards, circling the things they were talking about, so I could go see them. And that's what I try to do now, is to give the shortcut to the show so that people can see what they ought to see. Because there are a few truly amazing things here.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a product that didn't get an award that was truly amazing.
Can you share which one it is?
I think it was actually Beyond LED. They have an area light, like for parking lots, that with a flip of a dip switch, it goes from type 3 to type 4 to type 5.
Oh, wow.
So you change the distribution of the light, if you know anything about exterior
That's
lighting,
awesome.
with the flip of a switch.
Yeah.
And we did not know how it did it. You get judged on what you submit.
Right.
The submission wasn't clear enough what it did. I went over there and looked at it, and I said, damn.
Yeah, should have been.
It's as cool as I expected
This is an
it to
outdoor,
be.
like a shoebox replacement kind of thing?
Yeah, it's an armed light for a parking lot.
Wow.
With a flip of the switch, it goes from type 5 is symmetrical and all.
Color selectable and wattage selectable and this kind of stuff, and distribution selectable is what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And in a few years ago, we had a product that had a joystick on it, and it was a track head. And by moving the joystick, the LED moved within the optic, right? And that's what made it go this way or be straight or go that way.
But optical select, I've never heard of optical select.
This one,
Yeah,
that's
new.
correct.
Yeah, same.
That's correct.
Right, you're talking color select, wattage select, or lumen select, whatever you want.
I mean, in the entertainment world, we have zooming fixtures.
Yes,
and we have the
yes.
ability
You're
to
talking about the
modify it.
collision of
Well,
entertainment
it's not.
lighting in
It's
general
not
lighting.
zoom in and zoom out.
Right,
It's not a
right.
flashlight.
Yes.
It's going from this
Yeah.
to this
Right.
to all the way around.
Yes.
No,
With-
that's crazy.
Optical select.
Yep.
Well, with that, anyway.
And what they really have is there's two LEDs
Yeah.
inside the optic, and if you turn this one on, it's symmetric. You turn
You
that
have to
one on,
come
it
to
goes forward.
LightFair
Yeah,
to
you-
have
you get-
Mark
It's very
You
cool.
got to go to his sessions at LightFair, Webster.
Anyway,
All right.
thanks for the opportunity, guys. I like it. The Innovation Awards are very impactful, and I hope the next LightFair everybody comes to it.
Definitely. Well, appreciate you coming on, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you again, Michael.